Hi, this is Miss Cindy. Welcome back. And today I am just going to play around again. I am going to do a mixed media project on, as you can see, a big canvas that I was playing around with 3 or 4 times and I wiped it off. Today I'm going to try, I want to compare something. It's not actually try it. I want to compare something. I want to do an acrylic pour on a canvas that I put some tape down on, which I have done before. When I pull off the tape, it's fine. The lines are nice and sharp. But I'm going to try it again today with a new tape. And then whatever I leave naked, I'm going to do, I haven't decided if I'm going to do the coarse pumice gel or the fine pumice gel. Both are great. One is just a little bit thicker than the other. They're both by Golden, and they are the best gels that I've worked with so far. Anyway, my regular painter's tape I have never used since the acrylic pour because it just doesn't stick the way it should stick. And at that time, all I was doing is taping the back of the canvas. So my go-to is this fine sharp lines. And this is like a step up from this regular tape. This has always done great. The backs, even when I resin it, the drips come off. I've actually put this on the canvas and did a pour, and when I pulled it off, it was perfect. I've used this tape for wood, glue, and canvas. I'm sorry, wood, glass, and canvas. So I'm real pleased with this, and I have this in this size and also like the 1.5 inch. However, I was playing around on a small canvas, and I wanted the center covered. I didn't want anything. I just wanted canvas there because I was doing pumice gel in the middle of it. So I tried, because I keep hearing about this frog tape. So what I did was I cut a little circle, put it in the center, and then I did my the Dutch pour with the blow dryer. The first time I did a stencil on the canvas, and when I used the blow dryer, even with my go-to tape, my good tape, it blew it off. So I knew I wanted to cover up the center again, but I can't have it blow off. So I invested and I got this frog tape. And when I tell you, this tape is even better than the blue tape, because I cut out a circle, I taped it on. I didn't like the way to pour. I did that pour over 4 times, where I put it on, didn't like it, wiped it off, let it dry. And then I did it again 4 times, and that frog tape stayed in the middle. It did not move. Even the edges didn't come up. But when it was time, when I was finished to pull it up, it was nice and clean underneath. So what I'm going to do today, since this is an old canvas, I'm just messing around, I'm going to tape this with the frog tape, and then I'm going to do a pour. And then after it dries, I'm going to pull my tape off, and then I'm going to, whatever is open, I'm going to use the fine pumice gel. Once again, this is just me experimenting, trying to use this tape on a bigger project than what I used it on originally. And also just so I don't waste this canvas, because I am real good about using canvases over. If I don't like them, I wipe them off and do them again. This one was done like 3 times with black. And instead of me, since I'm going to be taping it, instead of me having too much layer of acrylic, all I did was gessoed it and sanded it down. So this has not been painted with white acrylic. And I'm going to go from there. So I'll be back after I tape it up, and then I'm going to do a pour. Okay. Before I show you the progress that I've made so far on this project, I wanted to address something. I received a question on why I labeled all my videos do-it-yourself, DIY. And I didn't answer the question because I don't think it was sincere. It was more like a dig that I label everything do-it-yourself. So instead of answering, I said, well, you're going to have to look at my video because I'm going to answer it on the video. The first reason is because there is nothing that I show you that you can't do. I don't care who you are. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what skills you have. There's nothing on my videos that you can't do yourself. You may do it better. You may do it worse. You may need practice. You could put your own spin on it. But I try to teach in a way that give you the basics and you run with it. That's the first reason. The second reason why I named everything Do It Yourself is because right before the pandemic, I was asked by a director of a special needs school, private school, because she knew I did arts and crafts, would I volunteer once a month to do arts and crafts at the school. One, I was floored. Second, I was elated. I said, jumped at the opportunity, and I said yes, because I have worked with special needs kids before. And I know it's a way to teach. Arts and crafts is a way to teach. And I like teaching. So anyway, got all my supplies ready. The first class, she had girls sign up. So I had about 12 girls. And I had just got into the acrylic pour. So I was trying the comb, the pull chain, the Dutch pour. I had tried all of these things. And I saved them. So when I started the class, I showed them the different techniques that you can do with this acrylic pour. And I heard, oh, I can't paint, or I can't do that, or oh my God, that's so pretty, and mine is not going to come out. I heard all of that. And I said, nope, you all are going to do it yourself. And they're all going to be pretty. So anyway, I taught that class. I explained to them what they had to do. You had some that needed help, and I was not hands-on. I walked over, they said, Miss Cindy, could you help me do this? And I said, no. I said, okay, I want you to do it this way. I want you to turn it this way. I want you to tilt this way. I want you to do this. And they did it. So at the end of the class, the director came in, and she asked them if they had fun and if they wanted to do it again. And all the girls said, yeah, we want to do it again. And the reason why is because at the end of that class, and we cleaned up, and they had all of their paintings in front of them, they were beautiful. Some stayed on script, some went off script. Some put colors together that I would never have done. But they all came out great, and looking at their faces, they all did it themselves. So when I decided I was going to do videos, I said it's going to be do it yourself and then whatever it is. Anyway, we set up to have more classes done. The pandemic hit, and that was the end of it. And that was the reason why, is because I am prone to disease. And I have to be very careful of who I'm around. And the last thing when you're vulnerable is to be around school kids. So anyway, that was the end of that. So I started doing it at home, doing the videos at home, and labeling everything do it yourself. So the person that asked me that in a snide tone, I'm hoping you're looking at this video and I've explained to you why I label everything do it yourself. Anyway, we're going to get back to the video. Okay, I have taped using that frog tape. I'm going to do a pour, but I don't know what pour I'm going to do yet. I don't know if I'm going to do the cup pour, the spiral, if I'm going to use a colander or a strainer, and I also haven't picked the colors. And the reason why I have to think this through is because when I take the tape off, and this is going to be clear, and I'm going to put the fine pumice stone in there, I want to use colors that at least match the pour. So I don't think I'm going to use just one color for the pumice stone. I think I'm going to use multiple colors for the pumice stone. So I will be back once I decide what colors I'm going to go through and which technique I'm going to use. Okay, I'm back, and all I've done is I put my Flotro base on. I didn't worry too much about the green lines because I'm not too worried about that area being covered. So If it's showing, I'm not going to worry about it. And as far as colors, I use every color under the rainbow I got sitting over here. It's also mixed with 1 part paint, 1 part Floetrol. And that's because it's going to give me the option to pick any color that I want to go on the pumice gel. So, yeah, I got 1, 2, purple, pink, silver, black, bronze, gold, white, aqua. Yeah, I've got about 8 colors over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the spiral. I'm sorry, the not the colander, the strainer. And then I'm going to do that infamous pour that I hate doing. That's just my choice. They come out nice. I just don't like doing them. Okay, let me get some gloves on and I'll be ready to pour. Okay, here goes nothing. There's no rhyme to reason to my colors. I'm just putting them all in there and just hoping they move. I'm using a combination of metallic and just regular acrylic paint. Okay, I'm going to let that go down a little. And then I'm going to come back around and maybe do 1 more round. This I don't even see this blue. Okay, and let's hope that's enough paint. It's taking so long to get that paint in there that I'm just going to put a little bit on, because we definitely need this to flow. And it looks so pretty when you first do the pour. But then it has a mind of its own. So, we're just going to go ahead and tilt this and see what happens. I know it's hard for you to see me tilting. I'll be back in camera view in a second. This is going to be real interesting because I've got straight edge square lines on this painting. But this has a lot of circles to it. Okay. I'm going to come back when I'm done because you can't see it anyway. Okay, this is a big monstrosity, but we are going to leave it because it wasn't so much about the picture. It was about whether this tape is going to hold, and I pull it off and do the pumice gel. But anyway, like I said, when you do this acrylic pour, it does what it wants to do. I'm surprised I kept any of this at all. But then my black and white sort of overrode the edges. Anyway, we're going to let this dry really good, and then I'm going to pull off the tape, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, I'm back. It's been a couple of days, and I guess this is the moment of truth to see if this tape actually worked. I got a funny feeling it didn't work because I see some bumps in there, so I'm pretty sure something got underneath there. But let's just see how this tape worked. I'm not happy with the pour at all. I think it's ugly. So I have no intentions of putting any pumice gel on here. I'm just going to see if this tape did what it's supposed to do. Everybody says it's one of the best tapes. But I will show you how I do put on the gel. And while this was drying, I did another one. I taped up a smaller one, and I'll show you what I did with that when I finish here. Now, the purpose of this, do you really need to tape it? Nope. You can, because I haven't before, you can do your pour and then take a pencil. Well, that's nice and clean. And take a pencil and outline whatever you want once the pour dries. And I've done that. But you have to be very careful when you use the gel, because the pumice gel is wet going on, and when it dries, it shrinks a little bit. So if you put the pumice gel not over the paint, when it dries, you may see the line of the pencil, or you may see the canvas. But I'll show you that when we get to it. Okay, I just took off 2 pieces, and I'm pretty pleased with this. Now, I see bumps in here. I'm curious if the paint came through. And it did not come through. Okay, oh wow. This gives me another idea too. Because this tape, look how pretty it holds on here. I may be doing something with that next. I should get a pair of scissors so I could just cut this. Okay, I hate when I'm not prepared. But look at the, okay, right there. I got a little piece that came up right there. That's what I was concerned about, but it's nothing that can't be fixed if it happens. I'm not too worried about this one because, like I said, this is about the ugliest pour I've done. And I would not be doing anything with this but painting over it. This tape is good. Yeah, it's so easy to get off here. I got one spot there. Now, I would have been pissed if this was one that I plan on keeping. Wow. But I am definitely impressed. They said this was a good tape. And that piece that just came off may have been because it was still wet. Wow. Okay. I gotta admit, that's the first time I've taped up and put paint over it, and the whole thing is clean. That's pretty cool. Anyway, the idea is there. I don't like the pour. I don't like the background. But I will show you what I do when I put the gel on. This is a coarse pumice gel. And these are the tools that I use. And sometimes I may use a paintbrush, and that's just to get in the corners. But you're not painting this on. You're actually putting a little bit on, putting it where you want it, and then you're working it into the corner. Again, I suggest you get as close as possible. Go a little bit over the paint, because when it dries, it's going to shrink. Yeah. And this does take time, especially as much room, I should say, as much as I left open. This is going to take a little bit of time to do. So, there you go. So, That's how you put on your pumice gel. And then you just fill in everywhere. You let it dry for a day. And like I said, it will shrink in a little bit when it dries. So I hope you can see that. So you want to make sure you go a little bit over the line so when it dries, it'll be up to the line. And this stuff is real easy to work with, easy cleanup. As you can see, I can take my finger. I'm putting this right back in this jar because I'm going to use it. And now I'm going to show you the second one that I did. And it's funny because the second one had a couple of paint marks under the tape. Not many, just only had two. Actually, I had two. And that paint was still wet that I took my paper towel and wiped it off. But as far as this tape, I'm going to give this frog tape, this is an A+, because this is the straightest and the cleanest tape that I've used using this acrylic pour. Look at the sharp corners. Okay, so let's go look at the one that I actually did, and it dried the same time as this one. I took that tape off, and I had a couple of marks. So I said, well, let's see what happens with this one, and this one is perfect. Okay, here's the other one, the smaller one I did when that one was drying. And there's a difference between the two. First of all, I didn't use 9 different colors of paint. I think that made it too dark. I only used like 5 and a touch of white. I also didn't use the strainer. I used a cup where I layered my paint in the cup and then did my little swirls, my little spirals, and did my tilt. I let that dry for 2 days. I took this off the same time I took that one off, but I did do that one first. So I had a mark, a little bit of paint here, and a little bit of paint. No, it was on this side. I had 2 small things of paint when I took the tape off. But other than that, it was pretty clean. And it may have been because it was still wet. It wasn't thoroughly dry. So I decided to go with the fine pumice stone only because this one is thinner than the coarse, and I was able to get the swirls when I laid it down. So that sort of goes with the background of the pour. Matter of fact, this is the way that I wanted it. Okay. So right now we're just letting it dry. And I will finish this up and I will bring it back when it's completely done. Okay, here's the other one, the smaller one I did when that one was drying. And there's a difference between the two. First of all, I didn't use 9 different colors of paint. I think that made it too dark. I only used like 5 and a touch of white. I also didn't use the strainer. I used a cup where I layered my paint in the cup and then did my little swirls, my little spirals, and did my tilt. I let that dry for 2 days. I took this off the same time I took that one off, but I did do that one first. So I had a mark, a little bit of paint here, and a little bit of paint. No, it was on this side. I had 2 small things of paint when I took the tape off. But other than that, it was pretty clean. And it may have been because it was still wet. It wasn't thoroughly dry. So I decided to go with the fine pumice stone only because this one is thinner than the coarse, and I was able to get the swirls when I laid it down. So that sort of goes with the background of the pour. Matter of fact, this is the way that I wanted it. Okay. So right now we're just letting it dry. And I will finish this up and I will bring it back when it's completely done. Okay, I'm finished painting the gel. And this is what it looks like. I hope you can see it. Let me try it this way. I haven't decided if I'm going to resin this or not. If I resin it, it'll do nothing but make these colors pop a little bit more. I just don't know if I want to waste resin on them. And I don't know if you can see in the background, I did paint that first one over, the one that I really didn't like. I went ahead and I painted over it with white paint, and then I took that frog tape again and put it exactly where the first lines were. And then this is just a black and white pour that I used with the blow dryer because I have more black and white paint than I have any other paint, and I didn't want to waste any more colors, especially this is like the third, fourth time I'm using this canvas. But we're going to see how this dries, and if this comes out, if that tape pulls off a second time nice and clean. Anyway, that's about it for today. So yes, I give the frog tape a thumbs up. Just another idea for mixed media, using the gel and then painting over it. I guess that's about it. Have a great day. If you like, please subscribe, and thank you. Sorry guys, I'm back. I ended that that video without showing you the results of the black and white one that I was playing around with, where I actually went and retaped over the same spot that frog tape was originally put down on here. And I must say, I am quite impressed. I can't use this, even though I think I like this better than the other one. I can't use it because it does have the imperfections on the insides here where I have painted this multiple times. But that tape is pretty awesome. So I just wanted you to see that when I pulled off the tape, the second time taping it over the same spot after multiple layers of paint, it still held the sharp lines. Have a great day.